Hello everybody, it is great to be here. This is Dr. Zero. Today we will talk about immigrants and to discuss what is wrong with these immigrants, what is wrong with these expats, what is wrong with these foreigners living in Sweden in regards to COVID-19, why they are so much worried, why they are complaining about Swedish system. First of all, let's admit it, Swedish people and Sweden has created a wonderful system with public health system, with public education, with wonderful infrastructure in place. They educate wonderful and they help many other countries. So these are wonderful things. But when it comes to COVID-19, in regards to numbers, if you compare with neighboring countries, you can see Sweden is not in good situation. And Swedish people are very happy with that. And I would like to explain the success of Sweden. Why Swedish state has been successful during COVID-19? Because percentage of infected people and dead people is very low. So when you base your communication to communicate with healthy people and you try to avoid to restrict their motions, try to avoid to influence their practical life and give as much as freedom to them so that they can continue their life as before. This is the perfect way to communicate with them, because then when people ask, are you happy with Swedish system in regards to COVID-19? Of course, majority will say yes, because they have never seen any negative influence in their life. As a result, this is wonderful, successful approach in communication. But when we look at the numbers, unfortunately, numbers do not reflect this communication success. So why these immigrant people are complaining? I have spoken with local Swedish friends and I see the subtle way of explaining that immigrants are not understanding the language, are not understanding the culture, and Swedish people respect the authorities, they follow rules and regulations, opposite of the general perception of Swedish people. Actually, Swedish people themselves did not restrict their movements that much. They reduced a little bit, but they have not restricted. But I have seen many videos about the parties of local people, parties of Swedish people in the Sky Bar, and different type of gatherings. So in that sense, Sweden was not that successful. But we see immigrant peoples, expats, foreigners are the ones that are really complaining in regards to COVID-19. So what is wrong with immigrants? Why they cannot shut up like local people? Why they cannot just accept what is there? I would like to also talk about one funny person, Mohammed Saeed al-Sahhaf.
We crushed the forces in Saddam International Airport and we cleaned the whole place of the airport. لا وجود للعلوج الأمريكان في مدينة بغداد.
There is no any trace, no any existence to the American troops or British troops in Baghdad at all.
أبدا.
At all.
He was actually chief of communication during Saddam time, and he was really interesting guy. He denied that there were any American tanks in Baghdad, where in fact these tanks were a few hundred meters far from him. He denied there was any combat, where in fact during the recordings there were combat fights that you could hear via the video. And he claimed Americans would surrender, when in fact when Saddam was about to lose the war. He was really funny guy to see his desperate tries to convince the society. Why I remembered him? I'm just guessing. Maybe they have some type of life experience that none of Swedish people has. Maybe they are coming from very terrible governed countries, and maybe they know how it is terrible to follow an inspirational leader without questioning him, to follow a charismatic leader that represents the whole society, that embodies the identity of the whole country. Maybe they know the consequences of following that type of leader. They know how it is devastating for the whole society. Maybe they know how this type of leaders destroys the whole society. Maybe they know how it is terrible to accept this type of leaders' perceptions as their own perceptions, to accept their claims as facts without questioning. Maybe immigrants have this type of life experience that none of the local people has, because there hasn't been a war 200 years, because there hasn't been this type of leaders in this country. So maybe before we do immigrant shaming, there is something that we can learn from these immigrants' experiences, and maybe we can relate to their fear. So thank you very much for watching me. I hope you'll follow me at LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, Dr. Zero Show. See you. Bye.